Welcome, I'm Chris Jelly, and I'm going to give you a little bit of support on how to create a story with a school classroom in one go. This is about an hour session, and I often work with 25 groups, 25 children in one classroom. I already have the teacher split the children into groups of 5s or 4s with mixed abilities. That's quite important. So if you're the teacher, you'll understand exactly what I mean there. Mixed ability groups, then you will nestle tables, and you'll get each group to be around each table, around a single table. So you then have the classroom, 5 tables, groups of 5 kids perhaps around each of these 5 tables. You might have 6 tables. That's not really a problem. What you will need is a piece of A3 paper or larger on each of those, and on those A3, and I like A3 because obviously photocopiers do this quite well, is you will have already drawn a really simple map of the school grounds. And that map will have some very few details of. It will just be a single pencil line, pen line, and it will perhaps just have one feature on it, which may be the outdoor learning centre, but also where the school is, so you can orientate it. Every kid needs to be able to touch that map. Every kid needs to be able to put their finger on it, so you can actually do a little bit of learning around that, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. The first thing, also on those tables, you will need to have an iPad. Just the one. You will need to log in to your actual school page. We're on template Storywalks here, which is sort of my place I create trails in. This one story I'm going to create with the class. So I would come in, I would get each iPad ready, already sitting on this home page, and this is kind of naturally where it comes, this home page, and I'm going to create a group. Now, I often use a theme, and today's theme with this class will be a tree theme. So oak tree, apple tree, beech tree, maple tree. And I'm going to create a walk with them. So I'd create a walk here. But before we jump there, I've got each group now sitting around a table. I've got them within the fingers reach of the map, and they can see that, and they've also got an iPad. So the very first thing I do before we start playing with the map is I say, right, one in the group, please take the iPad. And one of the kids always snatches it, and I say, right, the person will hold it up and pass it to the person to their left. So now you've already kind of disempowered that one dominant member of the group, which is great. And the whole thing is about equality here. So you give it to the next person, they then type their group name. And I've written Maple here. On that map, you will want to give them each group a name. It's quite simple. So I'm going to write Maple on this one, and it could have easily been Oak. So they're all write their own separate ones, so they're now all created their own separate page. And the very first page is here, edit story, and I'm going to get them just to write simple hello, but also please now go to the outdoor learning classroom. Now for this school, they all know where the outdoor learning classroom is, and they can all put their finger on it because it's written on the map in front of them. So it's the one feature which you've drawn on the map, which makes it really simple. It could, often, it could be an assembly point, it could be a stage, it could be a corner of the building, it could be something that's written on the ground. But what is key is they all know where it is, because this is where your story is going to start. We'll come down here and click Save. Now we get everybody in the class to do that, and then when they've all done that, I'll refresh this, and you will get all their walks turning up, and they should all be grey, all down here. And if they haven't, then you know that bit's wrong. So you jump into that group, make sure they've got it right, refresh until you've got them all there. Then we jump back in, edit title, turn it to visible, save again, and then you can see that all of them will go dark, and that means they're visible to the outer world. They don't have to be, but it's just more convenient if they've done that. If they're greyed out, it means you can't actually do a quick preview of it. So the next job really is to start looking at the map. So we go to edit map, and they pass. The next job is to say the next person to hand the iPad to the next person. So the first person's done something, hand the iPad to the next one. Here we go, and we're now looking at Bristol. We don't need to look at Bristol. We want to be in Frome, and I'm going to zoom right into Frome. And a bit too close, and I want to be at this school over here, Oakfield Academy, which I've been working with recently. I'm going to turn on the satellite. So here is the school courtyard. Whoops. And we drew a little map, and it was just a simple line that kind of was this sort of shape all the way around here. Yeah, it also had this building on, so that sort of shape, and it also had down here, they've got a stage, an outdoor stage, and they've got an outdoor learning classroom here, and I put both of those features on. But I'd also knew that there were features around the school here, and before I actually went into the classroom, I spent 10 minutes with my iPad and took pictures of different things. And there was a climbing wall here I took a picture of. Say there's an outdoor stage down here. There was an interesting bench I took a picture of here. Another bench in this courtyard. There was some play equipment down here. There's a basketball hoop here. So I took pictures of these things. And then when I got all the kids with this map on, I did one thing, and I added one zone. Add new point. Reduced it down, got them all to do this, just one kid to do this. This is not a multi-person job, it's just one kid, but make sure everybody in the class can see it. And I placed it where that outdoor learning classroom was. Click save, and then add here, introduction. Click save on that. And then I asked them to place the iPads face down. And I'm going to stop this bit, and then I'm going to jump onto the next one. So just to go back through that, we've got maps on the tables, we've done the iPads with one person on the iPad, we've created a single story, chapter name, we've made it live, and we've added an introduction zone, no more. Because now I want them to have hands off the iPads, and I want them to think about the location of where they actually are, and so we kind of play a game in the classroom.